7-yard line. That's a great call, too. Play fake, and Plummer will put it up, throws over the middle. Pull, touchdown. Quick flag.
3rd down and 5. Levitt swings it to Scadaboo. Scadaboo breaks defenders. Here he goes again. Another touchdown. Scadaboo is the running back, and he is immediately met in the backfield, runs through the contact, and then throws a shoulder for good measure. On this team this year. That is true. High in the air. Right center field. Brandon comes in. Welcome to 2025. This one the other way. They're going back. Half the track. Walks up and down.
Edwards pulls off and buries it.
Richardson drives out for Robbie Ryan. Hurt 3 right on the money.
Takes his shot for Darby. Flag out. Doesn't matter. Touchdown.
You go ahead and dance. Preseason, everybody said you're ranked best in the SEC, and they said no way. They finished in 2nd place and were runners-up in the SEC. They lose the Tuscaloosa Regional, and they open up Friday afternoon on the SEC Network against USC Upstate this morning.
What is up, my Pitchfork Lunch peeps? Yes, you saw it right there. You see it right here. Sun Devil softball going to College Station for regionals. We will get to that. But yes, welcome into the later lunch edition of Pitchfork Lunch. As I am Michael Caratonito at Diablos005 _ on the on X, the artist formerly known as the Twitter. You know it, you love it. Check the show live out normally every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. Today, starting just a wee bit late after 2, but it is all for good reason. I put it out a while ago in the programming alert. Forks up to a new Sun Devil alum. That would be my phenomenal sister, who got her master's and is absolutely crushing it, rocking it, all that good stuff. Yes, we had the ceremony was just a little bit ago, and of course, hanging out after. She hung out with me when I graduated here, and now she has a master's from an accredited university. Pitchfork Lunchers, you know why. She did go to that school down south, and if I wasn't razzing her, I kid because I care, I kid because I love, but it is absolutely awesome that, again, she received her master's from ASU, and again, just a great ceremony. People, had a lot of people had received their doctorates and a few of the different colleges on campus, but yes, she is graduated with another master's and from ASU. So forks up to my sister, hence the late start, but we're going to get to it all. I'm going to rip through it in this hour. Initially, it was going to re-air, which I might do tomorrow or take out parts, but we'll see. Actually, maybe not. It just depends. Women's golf on Friday. If you were not with us, oh man, did you miss out? It was a just epically amazing, phenomenal show, hanging out with women's golf, who's in Palo Alto at Stanford right now. So that in and of itself, that was absolutely awesome. But yes, welcome into this edition of Pitchfork Lunch. Like I said, I'm Michael Caratonito at Diallo005 _ on X. You can also go to my IG at michael.caratonito.5. And yes, I know I may have mentioned it to you once or twice before. My Pitchfork Lunch peeps is that you can watch there as well. All you got to do is go to IG, and then you see my name, Michael Caratonito, but it's at michael.caratonito.5. So yes, a dot between the first and last name, a .5 at the end, and you're right there. And last but not least, I know I was just talking about obviously golf on Friday, but go to YouTube, guys. Go to YouTube, watch live. You can
no, you can only get UCOS when you are just ESS. Oh, so yeah, just get your UCOS or $75.
It is, again, just absolutely awesome. What
No, I will be there in July, but just get one now. No issues of the there is nothing like recharge. If I want to get a new card, they will just destroy my old card and give me another one. Exactly.
But yes, all of it you can definitely check out. By the way, it was so awesome. I know I posted it, but I will show you again. That softball's in the house. But you look, like I said, I digress. Go to YouTube and watch live, yes, but do subscribe because you have missed a plethora of phenomenal con reviews, and there is 7 more of them that you missed this past Friday if you weren't able to catch the show live. Women's golf, like I said, who's in Palo Alto right now for the Stanford Regional. We'll get to that. We'll get to softball winning the Big 12, absolutely dominated. We'll hear from Megan Bartlett, Tiare Ho Ching, Tanya Wendell, Brooklyn Ulrich. We will hear from them as well because, yes, yesterday was a selection show. I showed you they are in the College Station bracket, fitting enough, winning the Big 12. I guess got them closer to home because inevitably Arizona is in the the Durham Regional. Yeah, I'll get to brackets and stuff for like the brackets out, but we got to get to so much on the show that all I care about is obviously ASU being in College Station, but Arizona is in Durham. So beating Arizona and then beating Oklahoma State, obviously winning the Big 12, but then you beat Texas Tech. Yes, the regular season matters because, I mean, look, the Red Raiders won 50 games in the regular season. They are hosting, which they should be hosting. And
you know State Farm, right? Exactly. So the company is in the State Farm. It's a small branch of the State Farm. Yeah. No co-op.
It is, again, like I said, just absolutely awesome. But go to YouTube, guys, watch live and subscribe because all you have to do is go to YouTube and you see my name, Michael Carrot. My page is at Amazon Michael V is in Victory Season Champ 005 at MVC005 on YouTube. And when you search it, the MVC, for some reason, type it in all caps. I mean, it's all caps on my page, but do type it in all caps, my friends, because A, I want you to get there. I want you to see it, and B, it's crazy to me because it's for some reason when people were putting in a lowercase, so you didn't see it. But yeah, if you see my name and you'll see the pitchfork lunch, you'll see a bunch like what's up in the upper corner, probably right there. You'll see a lot of that symbol. Subscribe because you can go back and watch. Like I said, women's golf. I mean, we had the obviously Big 12 Player of the Year that it's actually just the way it worked out. In the 2-2-2-1 is Patience Rhodes sat down with us. She was the last. She capped Friday's interviews, but obviously we had a second teamer, Player of the Year, first teamer, and the Freshman of the Year in Phai Rubron from Thailand. So again, go to YouTube, watch live, guys. Always watch live, but do subscribe. Again, it's at Amazon Michael V is in Victory Season Champ 005 at MVC 005 on YouTube. And forks up, man, to the new subscribers. Some keep getting a few new subscribers here and there. So forks up, man. Greatly appreciate it. But you also have a lot to catch up on. For you veteran pitchfork lunchers, you know what I'm going to say. For you newbies, I'm glad you're here. But shame on you. Where have you been? Because when I said you've missed a plethora, well, you have a lot to catch up on. That's why you subscribe to the YouTube channel. So you go when you watch it on YouTube, you can binge watch season 1, keep watching season 3 here, binge watch season 2, keep watching season 3, and then when season 4 starts up in the fall, you'll be caught up because you're at the time to where you'll give yourself a little bit of a breather. You'll give yourself a little bit of a breather, and then season 4 will get rolling. And again, we're going to have a lot usually kicking it off up at Camp T. So, but that being said, yeah, you have a lot to catch up on. So again, forks up. Glad you're here, but let's roll. So look, let's roll. Softball, yes, they win the Big 12, and they absolutely crush it. Alabama's overall number 1 seed. I showed you that off the so yeah, this was the Big 12.
This morning. That was awesome. Way to go. So
This is them at the community.
Danny Wallace.
Tanya Wendell and holding the trophy.
one out.
And Smaldino, of course, looking at it. Right there, you see that. And then the next one you will see is, yes, given the they got a huge ovation, and of course, well, I mean, everybody, you're looking at me probably saying, duh, Michael. Yes, deservedly so. They got a huge ovation. And yeah, this is them. Coach out there again with her too. Also, again, Coach Princess and Lita from him. And that just, tiring again. It was a tough loss to the did with the last game of the series. I pitched for lunch peeps, but yes, that was them. Softball team, obviously, with the Big 12 trophy. And but this is, we're going to get to this in a second because okay. So, but the reason for what got them the trophy against okay, hold on. I'm gonna show you. Because again, shutting out Texas Tech guys, dominating the Red Raiders. Again, absolutely awesome. And it was an explosion off of two just 20-win pitchers, by the way. And, of course, Kinsey Brown, she had a quote from this game, guys. She had a quote after the saying she was battling, and guys, and you'll hear what I asked the others because it is just absolutely awesome. If that's battling, I just laugh because it's yeah. You'll see here. I'm going to play all these. Okay, so in the third inning. Okay, so it starts in the third inning. Um, uh, Texas Tech co-Big 12 pitcher of the year, Najari Kennedy, pitching to Tanya Wendell, who, as you recall, even though Texas Tech swept him here, Tanya Wendell did take her deep. And again, when you're in the 70s, like Coach Bartlett said, it's just like a pitcher being in the mid to upper 90s. Maybe even hitting 100. Like you don't have to swing crazy hard, but you get you square up the ball just with a smooth swing with all the momentum and power that's pitch is coming at you. Well, you pretty much can just guide it over the wall. But anyway, my point is Tanya Wendell starts it off in the third, and yeah, I mean, I'll just put it up right here. Here, you guys can watch it together. Look at, I mean, hear it right there. And yeah, I mean, Tanya Wendell 1 yard off of Ruby Malin and off of Kennedy in the Big 12 tournament as you see there. And again, first, look, you see here on the replay there, guys. Have it here on the replay. Look at that. I mean, again, fluid lefty swing from the leadoff spot. And yeah, it's a solo shot, and it's going over the right field wall. And yeah, she is, again, that energy, her being injured is just stoked. Well, so that's Tanya Wendell. Let's fast forward to, I don't know, the girl who's been stirring everything up, Emily Shep. And Kelly Pond reached on an error, and Emily Shep made him pay because that was a 2-run shot for Shep. And look at that. And he puts it over the left field wall. And this was off of Caitlin Terry. So they took Kennedy out. And then Caitlin Terry, who's a lefty, who, again, making some lefty, probably 2 of them obviously on the staff. And look at that. Here right there, trying to run underneath and check it. Times it perfectly. And yeah, way over the left field wall. And Shep makes it 3-0, right? Because that's a 2-run shot. And then, yes, you cannot forget her counterpart on the other corner of the infield at first base. Yes, sir, look at that. Look at that. Just absolutely blasted over the left field wall. And she literally said, "Hey, Tanya Wendell, hey, Emily Shep, I want to get in on your home run party, your home run fiesta." And she did. It's a single solo shot there, I should say, of over a 20-game winner, Caitlin Terry. And yeah, look at this replay. I mean, Terry, it stays up, and look at the rise ball that is coming up, but she knew it off the bat. And look at that. Yes. Plants it in left center. And yes, that walks offensively 4-0. But then, yes, the player who said it's like she was battling her body, but gave up like 2, and has a runner on first here. Look at that. Look at that. That changeup is just nasty. Yeah. Look at that. Look at the replay. The changeup starts coming up, and then it just drops down, and it absolutely freezes the Texas Tech lineup, which you guys know we talked about. There's a lot of money in that lineup. And again, money doesn't get you top recruits, yes, and it doesn't guarantee a championship, as you know, depends around. I mean, look at that. Just, starts to come up, and then she just hit the Kodak moment. If it steps, and she knows. absolutely phenomenal. So that, my friends, is what led to, obviously, the Big 12 championship. And again, couldn't be happier for this team. Injuries, everything. So real quick before we take a break, though, look, women's golf, like I said, we talked to them Friday, and it was so, thank you, man. Forks up to Coach K again for allowing me to come out and talk to them as they're getting ready for their tournament. Just, again, very, very stoked for that. Stoked was able to do that, bring it to you. Again, go to YouTube, watch it. Depending what they do Wednesday, anyway, we'll see. But this weekend also baseball. Oklahoma State, man, last year was the last series of the season on the road in Stillwater. They got swept. This year, I mean, they had a chance to win that first game. They're going back and forth, and Oklahoma State I say back and forth. Oklahoma State answered everything. And Cole Carlone, again, the first inning was a little tough, but after that, Carlone on Friday night kept putting up zeros. Oklahoma State comes back in the bottom of the ninth, or the top of the ninth, and wins the bottom of the ninth. The Devils go 3 up, 3 down, and that's that. Saturday, 7 home runs for Oklahoma State, 3 for ASU, and Dean Smaldino hit 2 of those. Dean Smaldino also hit 3 yesterday. Well, Saturday night, Oklahoma State gets win. Dean Smaldino had a hell of a day yesterday, hitting 3 jacks. The Devils get the win. Coach Bloomquist said it was playoff baseball for them, starting with that game going forward. So, and now that, look, they go to Houston, and Houston has had an atrocious season in the Big 12. Does that mean they will roll over for ASU? Absolutely not, because I think they took one game from Arizona this past weekend. By the way, before we go to break, I do hope all the mothers had a great and happy Mother's Day. So hope you enjoyed the day, got spoiled, got to watch a little sports. Hopefully you had, sons and or daughters playing. You got to watch that, but watch them play, but enjoy and get spoiled on Mother's Day. So that is absolutely awesome. Forks up to that. But I want to say that. But yeah, ASU able to get, guys, the win yesterday, 11-6. Smaldino hits 3 home runs, and they needed that. That's tough because Oklahoma State, like I said, they lost 3 last year. This year, again, 2 of them, but at Phoenix Community, where they haven't lost many, and the Devils get the 3rd one. So needed it, and now you have Houston this last week. You definitely need that to sweep them, but we'll get to that in a minute. But we're going to step aside. When we get back, we're going to go right into hearing from Coach Bartlett. After yesterday's selection show, I was out there live. I know a lot of you saw I put some stuff up, but it was out there live. We're hearing from Coach Bartlett. We're going to hear from Tiare Ho Ching, Tanya Wendell, and Brooklyn Ulrich, because it just, again, absolutely awesome. So we'll step aside, come right back, diving into that, and don't worry, we'll wrap stuff up. We'll get it all wrapped up as well. So anyway, take a quick break and have more Pitchfork Lunch coming right up.
Yeah, I'm thrilled. We're ready to go. Great momentum right now. The girls played beautifully in Oklahoma City last week. Got a Big 12 championship. So it's all good things for the Sun Devils right now.
What was that like watching?
It was pretty cool. It's a different thing when you know you're getting in, right? When you got the automatic qualifier and you're just trying to strategize and figure out where you're going to go. It was a little bit more nerve-wracking a year ago. So, but it's amazing. I'm so happy for the girls. This group has just been so hardworking and loyal, and they're such proud Sun Devils, and put us back in a national conversation. So we're excited.
Did you have any guesses or suspicions of where you were going originally, and then what was your reaction on College Station?
Yeah, we thought maybe Oregon, maybe LSU, just the way the straight seating's working out now. But yeah, we're excited.
And obviously, with winning the tournament, go based on regular season as well too. But both the winning the tournament, getting on that qualifier, do you feel that helped you at least get a little bit closer to home, and obviously conference territory?
I have no idea. I am certainly appreciative of the coaches who sit in the room and try and figure out the seating and constraints and rankings and where people go. So I don't know. I've just it's been a crazy 48 hours at this point, and an outstanding Mother's Day certainly, but I don't.
Trisha Ford obviously is not here and is to with your job. What's that going to be like and possibly against her?
Yeah, well, I am certainly thrilled she took the Texas A&M job because it opened up this incredible job, and I'm just so grateful and so proud to lead this program. Yeah, I don't really have much of a relationship with Trisha and that stuff. So.
The offensive momentum in Oklahoma State just seemed like it was at the best the entire season. How do you guys want to carry that over into this? It's been a week, but less than 12 hours from that Oklahoma State game to the Texas Tech game. So how do you carry that over into regionals?
Yeah, you just continue to speak belief into the girls. They are capable of winning. They're capable of winning this regional. They're capable of taking this whole thing to Oklahoma City, and you need some momentum at your back and have to put all three facets of the game together consistently, which we did a great job of last week. So I think I tell them all the time, whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. And they certainly bought into that a week ago. So yeah, just excited to carry the momentum into the regional.
To piggyback off that, you've talked all year about the team's resiliency, and yes, everybody deals with it, but dealing with the injuries, people in and out, the depth you've had at positions, how much, obviously culminating in a Big 12 championship, but just how much of all that has helped the team grow? But have you seen the team grow and obviously go into regionals? I don't want to say, not overconfident, but just relax, like you talk about playing.
Well, it's certainly really nice to be healthy. And yes, I do think it created a lot of resiliency and versatility. We knew going into the season, certainly this is the first time, in my short 4 years here that we have finally had some depth, and man, did we have to put it all to use throughout this season. Different defensive combinations, and I don't even know how many different lineups we probably had at this point. So it certainly forced the girls to step up, to grind, and this group's amazing. I think they have come together at so many points. They could have just kind of thrown their hands up, or this is too hard, or kind of let frustration take over, and they didn't do it. But yeah, it has definitely created a seasoned group of individuals who love each other, love being Sun Devils, but there's a lot of belief in one another.
And to piggyback offensively, I know I've talked to you about, everybody seemed to have their, wellness, you said everybody was really happy Tanya back leading off, but just someone, like Emily, who, has been, consistent, may have started more, consistent on defense, but just at the plate, the last month and a half. What did you just see from her and what she's meant to this team on the corner and at the plate?
Oh my gosh, Emily Sheff has been outstanding. For my money, she should have been an all-conference selection. She was an all-tournament selection, and she has kind of been just captain consistency for us throughout the whole year. She's got wonderful barrel control. She hits for great power. She knows how to execute tasks. She will give up her at bat. If it's a move if it's a betterment of the team, and she gets it upside down in a count, you can rely on that kid to still make something productive out of all her at bats. And we asked her to play third base, kind of settle in halfway through the year, and she's now doing a tremendous job at third base. And I just cannot sing her praises enough. So happy she chose to be a Sun Devil. She has been a perfect fit and a wonderful teammate, and definitely outstanding.
And then offensively, I got to ask you, the third inning with that home run fiesta. Now that you've kind of had a few hours to. What was that like, just in the dugout to see? I mean, Tanya's obviously Emily's and Katie's just cracking it out of the park.
It was. We just get filled with so much gratitude that they're here and they're on our team, and these kids have so much belief and trust in each other and what we've done, and they just bought into the plan and how they've been trained, and Bloom does such an outstanding job with the hitters. So it was so funny. I was talking to my boss when the game was over. He's like, "You're so calm right now," and I'm like, man, I have been a part of these postseason runs, and I know how delicate and how special they are. And when things start to really culminate and come together like that, you just have to be grateful to the universe, because if I could bottle that, I'd be a billionaire and I'd be working for the Yankees, right? And truly, name a sport, name a sporting organization. And you can't, you just have to be grateful that it came, and hopefully it sticks around and we're carrying that momentum into regionals. I think it will, but yeah, you just elated, just happy for the girls. I mean, that was a very tall task. Texas Tech is a very good team with an exceedingly large payroll, and they were faced by none of it.
What do you need to do moving forward in the region?
We have to get great pitching performances, and we're going to have to rely on the whole staff to do it, and that's just the reality. It's a lot of games in 3 days, and if you get upside down, you're going to end up with a lot of double headers that are kind of spaced out at funny times, so you're going to have to use all your arms. We're going to have to continue to put pressure on opposing defense at the plate, and we're going to have to be really clean on defense. So we talked about all 3 facets of the game, have to step up, and we got to compete real well. Like you're going into SEC territory. We know the task won't be easy, but we're capable.
Got time for one more quick. And then I saw, well, obviously watching the game, but then saw Kinsey's quote about she felt like she was battling her body, and it looked like she was just ripping off great pitches. If that's battling, what's not battling look like for everybody she's about to face?
Our sweet Mackenzie is finally, in all of her, now 5 years in college, has just embraced the fact she can be effectively wild on a day-to-day, and it's okay, and that's Ken's, and we talk about it like it's her superpower. And as long as she gets to points where she can reel it back in, she's totally fine. But goodness, yeah, when she's having a day, she's so tough to hit. She just has all the tricks. It's a great rise ball. She's got a very good drop ball. She can go east-west. She has 2 different off-speed pitches. She is she's dangerous.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it. So, obviously, Tara, I know you're stoked about being back in regionals. 2 years of regionals, but I mean, has just the effect of like winning the Big 12, or maybe like the moment, like has it kind of settled in, and just what was it like being on the field and like in that moment?
Honestly, it's been surreal. Like even this morning, I woke up and I was telling Ashley, it's like this doesn't even feel real. Like we won. Even in the game, it felt surreal, but just trying to stay grounded and present in the moment, and just realize that we're capable of doing anything this season. So.
What was that like watching up on the screen, your selection?
It was exciting. Like, we had no idea where we were going to go, but regardless, we're happy that we're able to compete in a competitive spot in the tournament. So yeah, it's exciting.
You told me at the beginning of the season that Oklahoma City was the goal for this team no matter what, day one, and now you're like one step closer to that goal. What is kind of the mindset going into regionals for you guys?
Yeah. Again, just trying to stay present. At the beginning of the season we each had our own individual goals for the team, and some of us said win regular season, make it to the World Series, host a regional, and one of the goals was to win our Big 12 tournament, and we did that, and just trying to stay present in that too, taking it one game at a time. We've got McNeese next, and it's a really competitive team, so we're excited to get at that.
That being said, I mean, obviously Coach talked about it, and you kind of dealt with it too. I mean, injury-wise, but getting the stitches, getting hit, and that craziness, and coming back. But the depth that you guys have, and I mean, playing the middle infield, with Brooklyn, and seeing what obviously Emily's done at third base, just throughout Big 12, obviously it was tough. But like, how do you feel this team grew defensively with some people having to be plugged in and moved all around?
Yeah. I mean, Coach B talks about it all the time about being good on all facets of the ball. So I feel like all season long we've preached, putting all the pieces together, and I feel like for the first time this past weekend we were able to do that. And playing good defense. Defense wins ball games is what we've been preaching here as well. So as long as we keep up the team chemistry, we played great defense. So as long as we keep that up, I think it'll just be a great tournament for us.
And I asked Coach, obviously in a big field like yesterday, but when that home run fiesta took place, Tanya, Emily, Katie, when you're in the dugout, what's that like? I know there's energy there, but just what's that like? Surreal, obviously against pitchers like that, a team like that, but to get those 3 home runs that inning, what is it like in the dugout?
Yeah, if I can remember correctly, I don't know for sure if there was 2 outs or not, but typically when there's 2 outs, you pick up your teammates, you're holding their gloves and waiting to go on the field. And I kid you not, I stood there and I saw it go over the fence and I dropped everything, and I was like, no way. Especially after Katie went back to back, I was like, this can't be real right now. And even though it was only I think it was the second inning of the game, I knew in that moment, third inning, I knew in that moment, I was like, we're winning this game. And it ended up happening, and it's just unreal, honestly.
And then Kinsey said, I saw her quote yesterday, she was battling, her body. And from watching the game, obviously the untrained guy's how is that battling?
No idea.
Exactly. So when she's not battling, what's that going to look like for teams you're about to face in regionals?
Regardless of if she's battling or not, she's a beast either way. You'll never know she's in pain because she's a dog regardless. But it's fun because the lineup, we don't want to see our pitcher, throwing shutouts and we can't hit the ball, So just doing it for the seniors, doing it for Kenzie, and she's working really hard for us. That's been a big motivator for us too. So.
And then how does last year's experience at regionals, going to LA, but now you're going to be in another obviously hostile environment, but just how do you guys draw that we're here drawing that experience from last year?
Yeah. If you look back on last year, we went 2 and done. We lost the first 2 games, and so just looking back, it was a good learning experience, knowing that, we can't, just because you made the tournament doesn't mean, you're done. That's not the end goal for this team. So just, keeping the momentum going from the last weekend, and we didn't hit our peak yet, so just keeping it on upward from here.
You talked to me freshman year about you just having a lot of nerves before a game, and I asked you this year, are you going to have the same nerves as you get nervous before every single game? That's just who you are.
Yeah.
Where are your nerves at for this regional right now?
I don't want to call it nerves. It might be a little bit of just excitement and adrenaline for sure. I feel like majority of our team will feel that too. It's just excitement and wanting to perform well for my team because there's high stakes. We want to go far in this tournament. So yeah, I'm always nervous no matter what. I'm always excited. Adrenaline's always up. So I don't know if that'll ever change.
And one more for to wrap defensively, obviously last year playing next to AJ and then now playing back next to Brooklyn. Obviously they both come in, they're older, but what's that transition and just kind of chemistry and relationship been like with you guys? Because you learned from a pretty good one too. That was thanks to you last year.
As far as the whole infield goes, I think our team chemistry is amazing. Actually, not even just our infield, just the whole defense as a whole. But even during a game, Brooklyn, she'll get all sappy and be like, "Oh, I'm almost done. I'm a senior," and I'm like, "Shut up! I want to enjoy this with you." But it's been super fun. We joke around all the time, and our team chemistry is great. We pick each other up, hold each other accountable, so it's been amazing.
Thank you. You good?
Yeah.
So, I asked Coach, asked TR, but starting the home run fiesta, you're on the field for it, but then to be in the dugout to see, obviously, Emily's and Katie's, what was that like to start it? How did it just feel in the dugout?
Yeah, honestly, after I hit mine, I knew that her ball was starting to get a little flat in the zone after fouling pitches off left and right. But I knew that we had a shot, Going into that, we were like, ooh, it's going to be tough, We lost a series of them, but after bouncing back the way that Shep and Katie did in that inning and being in the dugout, and to answer your question, it was so exciting and so overwhelming, the feeling of just scoring those runs in that moment that we needed to show up. So.
How about today, just watching the screen, what was that like?
we're super pumped. We are super pumped to go to College Station and play McNeese. You know, that's our first step to making supers. You know, we want to beat them and then beat whoever is next for us. So it's super exciting to go to College Station for sure.
What's different about this team and that UCLA regional from last year that you guys learned that you're taking over to this season?
Honestly, I feel like last year was a lot of nerves and like, whoa, we're actually here. But this year, especially us returners and vets that have been to a postseason, we're ready. You know, I think those nerves, like Tiata said earlier, there's going to be excitement, you know, but also just calm and being present where our feet are, like I always say, and we're going to be just fine. So.
It seems like your game plan was really executing well in Oklahoma City. The offense just had some momentum that gave Kenzie that insurance just for her to pitch and do her thing. What are you kind of telling your team to help carry that momentum over to College Station?
Just calm your breath down. You know, I think a lot of it is more mental than anything. Like, we're here for a reason. You know, we've made it this far for a reason. Like, why not take it all the way? You know, just keeping that in mind, remembering your why, and like I said, just being present where your feet are and enjoying the moment for what it is.
You know the Big 12 tournaments, championships, obviously going to be tough, but how much extra, like, just oomph did it give you going into the second game, just opening up against that team down south and just beating them? How much is extra energy? I mean, again, the turnaround, the quick time, but did that give you guys?
Yeah, it was a momentum builder for sure. I mean, when we have momentum, we just try to take it with us throughout the whole way. You know, you saw a little bit of that in the preseason, then we lost for a little bit as Big 12 came in the beginning, but I mean, we're excited. We got the momentum back and we're ready to roll. So.
Texas Tech had swept you guys just 2 weeks ago. What was that kind of feeling like, beating them in the championship game on top of it?
Like I said, going into that, we were like, ooh, this is going to be tough, you know, but we're tough, you know, and just overtaking that aspect and being a little bit more positive. And like I said, just where your feet are, it was awesome to just have that explosive inning like we did and take advantage of it. So I'm super proud of this team and my girls.
Do you think it helped you playing them not too long ago to kind of see them and go, hey, we just saw them, we're going to learn from our mistakes and advance now?
Honestly, yeah. It did, you know, like we know what their energy is, we know how they play, how they roll, and it's like, okay, you know, just go out there, play the same game. Game doesn't change, you know, it's just a different team, different day. So.
And in the broadcast a lot after you hit a home run off kind of, they couldn't really, obviously, not stop talking about hitting dingers off both of the Big 12 pitchers of the year. I mean, you've seen them, obviously, I know you saw Ruben, she's at Washington too, same thing, but like, just to like, get a hold of that pitch and knowing like you're taking it, but like to go on both of them in the same weekend, has that kind of sunk in, and what's it like?
Yeah, honestly, it's still kind of like, whoa, I did that, you know? But I mean, like, I tip my cap to them. They are great pitchers. Ruby's drop ball, like I said in the media and the press, it is insane. Like, the amount of drops she has, like, I tip my cap to her. I think, you know, her and Nyjah, it's great for both of them. But I tip my cap to both of them no matter the outcome. I am super proud of myself at the end of the day, but they're both great pitchers, and it's awesome. So.
And then with I mean, unfortunately, like Coach talked about, dealing with injuries all season. I mean, you had one, but just people moving around defensively and building that depth. How much do you feel that just it helped this team grow? Not even, I mean, yeah, coming together, but just grow with people being in certain positions and just being like, okay, I can own this, I can play it.
Yeah, I think it's huge, right? I mean, you know, you have players that go down. It's like, how are you going to step up and be a good teammate in that moment? You know, I think that's what matters most to us is our culture and just stepping up and being a good person and teammate to each other, and that's what's helped us a lot get to this point. So.
And then obviously Coach Bartlett, I mean, had this vision when she took the job, but to see it like come to fruition, I mean, even going like regionals back-to-back years, but now like you said, seemingly more confidence for especially players that were there. But just how is Coach Bartlett doing, and how happy are you for, you know, her like leading this program?
Yeah, I'm excited for her. I'm excited for this whole staff, honestly. I mean, like I said, us returners as well. I think a lot of the nerves are gone from last year, and like we know how to get better from that, you know. And when games are tight, it's like, how are you going to respond? You know, pressure is a privilege, so we got to take advantage of that and just move forward.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck. All right.
Thank you.
Good. All right, so Brooklyn, I mean, has it, I mean, asking everybody else, I mean, has it sunk in? I mean, just winning the Big 12 in the fashion that you guys did it? What's it feel like? And obviously headed to the, you know, regionals, but what did it feel like to beat that Texas Tech team?
I mean, that feeling was amazing. After every single win this weekend, all three of them, I was just ecstatic. So I felt like the emotions, the energy was just high all the way through all three games, and when I woke up this morning and looked at the hat, wow, we just did that. And I mean, it hasn't fully sunk in, but we're a very talented team. We have a lot of potential.
What is it that you're going to have to do to keep advancing?
Yeah, we're going to have to just honestly focus on us. What we did going into this weekend, we really did a lot of film study. Us individually, we went back and looked at how hitters beat us. I know that's what I did. I went and I saw what pitches did these pitchers throw me that beat me my last at-bats against them in conference, and how am I going to prevent them from beating me again.
And then when you look at I asked Tanya this too, like obviously being a local kid coming back, but the first game in the Big 12 tournament, I know it is quick turnarounds. You guys are used to that from obviously non-conference play.
Yeah.
But to beat that team down south, how much extra energy? Like I said, I mean, you're up early the next day, you're up the next day. But how much extra energy and oomph is it, especially beating them?
A lot. I mean, that win just means so much for Tempe. It means so much for this part of Arizona, and just being able to go out and beat them game one, knock them out of the tournament was great. And I think it just honestly started the ball rolling, and us beating the number 3 seed in the tournament to the number 2 to the number 1. It was a good climb up.
You know, you transferred this year to ASU, and really the past 2 years ASU has gone back on the map nationally in college softball. Just what would you say to anyone who might be considering ASU?
This was the best decision I have ever made for my collegiate career, for my academics. Coming here to complete my last year of softball has been life-changing, and us going and winning the Big 12, ASU has the talent to win it the next year and the year after that, and so on and so forth. So it was a great decision, and I highly recommend to anybody that's thinking about it.
And offensively, I mean, obviously you got a lot of hits this weekend.
Yes.
But when and defensively, I got to ask you this one first, because I saw Kenzie's quote after watching the game yesterday. She was saying like she was battling, and I'm like, if that's battling to the untrained eye, like, that looks pretty dominant to me. But you've been obviously on the field. You're looking at her pitch.
Yeah.
What did you see from her yesterday? And like I said, if that was battling, what are the teams gonna see from her in the regionals?
The best trait I could describe her as is fearless. She went out there through a complete game. The first day we were out there on Thursday, and threw a complete game on Saturday. So she's fearless. She doesn't fear any hitters. She just goes out there. And one thing I really respect about Kenzie is that she's always even keeled. You can't tell when her emotions are really high, and you can't tell if they're low. But going into the regional, that's a great quality, great trait to have, especially for somebody in the circle.
And then offensively, I mean, like I say, you hit phenomenal throughout the Big 12 tournament.
Thank you.
To be in the dugout, obviously you see Tanya's home run, and then Emily and Katie go back to back. I was asking them, like, what was that feeling like? And just, I mean, obviously I know there's a lot of energy, but did it sink in, like, oh my God, we just drilled like both their like big time pitchers?
Yeah.
What was the energy like in the dugout?
Well, it was, 4-0 ball game, and we're up, and that was in the 3rd inning. So in my head, I'm like, all right, we need to stay consistent on defense, because they're a very talented team. They can strike back at any moment, and we just have to remain focused. I knew I didn't perform very well hitting, but I went out there on defense. I was like, my defense has to be spot on. I cannot make any mistakes. I'm just got to go out there, play free, play loose.
What was that kind of turnaround like from that Oklahoma State game late that night into playing that early morning game for Texas Tech? Like, I'm sure there was hitting drills already lined up for you guys early that morning.
What is so funny about that is, after we played against Oklahoma, Bloomer pulled us aside, our hitting coach pulled us aside and was like, guys, we want you to get more sleep. We are going to show and go tomorrow. We're not going to hit, and we're just going to go out there and just play softball, because, hitting, the warm-up is to make you feel good about what you got that day. And we were rocking all weekend, so we just had to go out there and perform, and that's what we did.
And then to see Marshall, obviously your old team, but to see them, obviously they're headed to regionals too. Still have friends on that team. What was that like for you?
I immediately texted my best friend. Her name's Ramey George. She plays on Marshall, and she was my roommate when I was there. And I called her, and I thought it was going to be us that was playing them in the Duke Regional, and because I saw Arizona, and I got so excited. And then I was like, oh, it doesn't say state after. But they're pumped up. I'm excited for them to go face the school down south, and I obviously hope that they win.
Well, there it is, Pitchfork Launchers. Megan Bartlett, Tiara Ho Ching, Tanya Wendell, Brooklyn Ulrich. After, yesterday is a world when you win it Saturday morning. Again, the Big 12 was one of the first conferences to have the championship game that early. Yes, it's in Oklahoma, so it was about 11 o'clock there, 11:30 there, 9:30 here. But they got back in time though to stop by Phoenix Muni and show off the hardwood. Yeah, and by the way, I will say this because you guys know me. I always say, like, when I watch certain things, a lot of you Pitchfork Lunchers know, like intros to shows, especially like shows like that. And then they're talking about Texas Tech and they show Kennedy, obviously, at Arizona State. There's a highlight there where she struck somebody out. She's all pumped up, rightfully so. But no ASU Kenzie Brown strikeouts in the Open. And I get it. There's a ton of schools, and I get it. But come on, man. You got Tech in there. You got others. No Kenzie Brown. No, like, Tanya Wendell leadoff shot. No, just come on. Kaylee Pond had top 5 catch of the year. Top 10, let's say top 10, because there's quite a few I've seen that I'll say, oh, top 5, and all of a sudden there's 10, and it's like, well, there's not 10 in the top 5. I guess if you have like 1 and 1A, but still that would be, well, yeah, that would be 10 plays. But no, all kidding aside, like, come on, man. ESPN always does that. Always does that. And it's absolutely annoying to me because Arizona State getting whatever show it is getting just, whatever, no highlight package. Or last year, like during, I don't know, the college football playoff, the first year of the 12 team playoff, when ASU is in and they put up, ESPN puts up Arizona's really graphic, like the A, really? Oh, could you imagine if they did the Alabama? It was the time Alabama. They put up Auburn's. Oh my goodness! It would be a meltdown. It would be right. So anyway, come on, man. They deserve to be in the opening highlight package. Just saying. But nonetheless, hey, you know what? They're head of the College Station. So that in and of itself absolutely rocks. Again, so stoked for this team. And like Coach Bartlett said, like, so many injuries, guys. So many injuries this year. And like I said, Tiara, it started with her. When she got hit, again, the helmet took the brunt of it, which is a great thing. The mask, the metal, but it went back, and I think that's what didn't it back so hard, and it cut her, and she had to get stitches. But we talked about that. But man, just in general, Tanya goes down. Ashley Mejia, who's in right field, gets a little banged up. And they said Tiara was out. It's just, man, and it's but like Coach said, knock on wood, being healthy is a great thing. So forks up to them, man. Headed to College Station. They play Friday. Their first game is Friday, like Brooklyn said, against McNeese. That's their first, or Tanya said that, I think. But, well, they both may have said it there. But no, Tanya said it. That's their first step. And look, you have a leadoff hitter like that, and I said, all bases open pitchers going after, but setting the table, setting it up, and it's like that calm that I talked about. Like a leadoff hitter, yes, okay, for softball, Tanya Wendell, like everybody. And again, you say it kind of little laugh, but everybody was just really looking forward to Tanya getting back to at least being able to hit, being a designated player and leading off, because man, but then you get her back in the field, and then you have somebody even like another senior. We had senior day here, Gaia Acuna, the younger sister of Yanni Acuna, who obviously had a phenomenal, just a very solid, strong, great career here at ASU. But you get her in left field, you get her, in the batter's box, running the bases with her speed. It's just, again, absolutely interesting what this team can do. And like Coach said, for regionals using arms, like, yeah, Kenzie will get the start against McNeese. And yeah, that's the team. You see these at large and you say, man, they won in their conference. And oh, look at their records and stuff like that. And I think have that. I think this right here. Yeah, see, they're celebrating here, as you can tell. And they finally saw their names. Yeah, it means 40 and 20. 40 and 20. That's what I wanted to tell you about. Yeah, they were 40 and 20. There's also 41 and 16. So, like, yeah, I mean, but they won double the amount of that, too. So, that's who they have first. We'll have more on that. Aiming tomorrow to get to talk to Emily Shep. We'll see if that happens. But got to get someone. Aiming to talk to someone, but Emily Shep, and a little sit down again with her before they head to regionals. And yeah, because it looks like chances are be leaving Wednesday, not tomorrow. I was going to say, can't really sit with her tomorrow if they're leaving tomorrow, but Wednesday. So see if that comes to fruition. But again, Forks up, man. Big 12 champs. Love seeing the hardware. Coach Bartlett, again, her vision that, again, it's been on Pitchfork Lunch every season since she has been here. And you can just hear it in her. And again, the player that she was, been coaching for a minute, program she was at, she was at Texas, and then like you heard, Coach Ford, obviously, you guys all know, went to A&M, took that job after a hell of a season here, a hell of a few seasons here in Tempe, and then A&M came a ringing, and she went there. She's still there. And then Coach Bartlett for Sun Devil Nation comes here and getting the player she was at Notre Dame, and it just kind of carries over. So when she's asking players to do something, just in general, it's not that she obviously did it. So I'm going to say that. But again, Forks up, Coach Bartlett, absolutely crushing it. Sun Devil softball, and Forks up to like again, the staff, but the team. These, I mean, Kinsey Brown was the MVP of the Big 12 tournament. Again, no argument there. There was a few first teamers as well, and they let's see. I can tell. Oh, by the way, I'm going to shout them out again tomorrow. But I want to shout out Naomi Ruff from Triathlon and David Zuba for being named of wrestling. Yes, wrestling for Zeke Jones. For being named this year's Bill Kajikawa, again, the former coach, longtime coach of quite a few sports, but the Bill Kajikawa Award winners. The award is given to 2 senior student athletes in recognition of their contributions at ASU in honor of legendary Sun Devil Bill Kajikawa. So, yeah, man, Forks up to Naomi Huff and David of Triathlon and David Zuba. Awesome, man. Awesome award to receive. So, again, I will shout them out again tomorrow. Don't you worry about it. And I'm shouting out my sister as she forks up to her. By the way, softball making a stop at AC Family this morning. Yep, they were there at 9:35 a.m. They were there when I was just starting basically my sister's master's graduation ceremony. Forks up to Lisa on that. But yes,
Like every time I see Jerry, this kind of.
But
I don't.
and yes, the SID for softball, Chris, he is the good luck charm.
I think this is insulation.
But where did it go?
Yeah, no, I think we should. I'm sure you have.
By the way, forks up to former or Sun Devil volleyball alum Jelly Sear, and the Dallas Pulse volleyball team on winning the ML Volley Championship. So forks up to you, Miss Jelly Sear. Yeah, Kenzie Brown was the MVP of the Big 12 tournament. Again, 2 complete games, 2 wins. 16 Ks. But the all-tournament team, Emily Shep, Kenzie Brown, Tanya Wendell, and Brooklyn Ulrich were all part of the all-tournament team. And again, it's not a surprise. Not a surprise. Forks up to them. Again, softball, Big 12 champs, the 5th Big 12 championship for Sun Devils this year, Pitchfork Lunchers. Anyway, I keep going on. We started late, went a teeny bit long, but you heard from them. Again, more tomorrow. Normal bat time, normal bat channel. Well, I should say normal bat time, same bat channel. But we're going to get out of here. And again, I want to thank reigning back-to-back Big 12 champs women's volleyball. To remind you, it is hashtag our state. Like I said, Friday, school down south. You learned it again in softball on Friday night. So it is hashtag our state. Just remember that. And yeah, I will see you tomorrow. Like I said, same bat time, same bat channel. Have a phenomenal rest of your Monday. And go, you guys know it, go Devils. And as always, forks up.
I went to Arizona State. Right. I'm a Sun Devil, man.
The 27-yard line. That's a great call. Through play fake. Plummer will put it up. Throws over the middle. Pull. Touchdown. Quick flag.
3rd down and 5. Levis swings it to Scadaboo. Scadaboo breaks defenders. Here he goes again. Scadaboo is the running back, and he is immediately met in the backfield, runs through the contact, and then throws a shoulder for good measure.
We're going to chuck this defense here. That is true. High in the air. Right center field. Brandon comes in. Welcome to 2025.
Edwards pulls off and buries it.
Richardson drives out for Robbie Ryan. Hurt 3 right on the money.
center.